directory I created, and I separate my tools and my workspace out that way. So in my tools folder I have Spring STS expanded, and I'm just going to go ahead and open it up. Now it should prompt you for a workspace, and I keep my workspace right alongside my dev directory, so I have, or my tools directory, so I have cdev workspace. Go ahead and have it open that up. Now we're going to utilize a plugin that's already configured in Spring STS called M2E Eclipse. If you're using straight Eclipse, you'll want to install this plugin. It just makes things a lot easier. So I want to come up here and go to File, New. I'm going to go down to Other. Alright, so you'll see there's a lot of defaults there that are available for me, but I want to use the Maven plugin. So if I go down here, you'll see there's a new Maven project, and I specifically want to choose Maven project. If I double click on that, I'm going to accept all the defaults on this screen, just to use the default workspace location. Then I'll click Next. Now there's a bunch of archetypes already created for me inside of a Maven, inside of the Maven repository, and an archetype is just a directory structure that follows a format that I want to use and does some default things for me. So to filter it down to find just the web projects, I'm going to type web in here, and you'll notice that there's this Maven archetype web app, which is really just a simple web app, and that's the one we're going to go ahead and use. So I want to choose this org Apache Maven Archetypes Maven Archetype web app. And I can click Next. And it's already tried to guess what my group ID is of com.pluralsite. That'll work just fine. And I'm going to substitute in my artifact ID as my application name here. So let's call this Fitness Tracker. Then I can click Finish, and it will go out, and you'll notice that down here in the corner it's downloading a bunch of stuff and unpackaging some resources. So it's going out and pulling down those templates and substituting values for me. And you can see now I've got a directory structure that's all set up. So it has my source directories, it has some basic Maven dependencies. I don't really have anything defined yet, so it just shows the JUnit dependency, and then it shows my source, main, web app, webinf directory with my web XML folder in here. We're not going to edit anything in there right now. I just wanted to show you that the basic web project structure is already intact for us. Let's go ahead and double click on our POM file and open it up. And you'll notice it has our values that we just entered in there all set up for us now. Let's go to the Dependencies tab right here. And let's add our 3 dependencies that we need. Now notice right now our Maven dependencies directory only has JUnit in there, and that's just because that's the default one that it comes set up with. Let's go ahead and add a dependency, and we want to do org.spring-framework, and our artifact ID is spring-web MVC. For our version, we'll do 3.2.0.release, and the scope of compile is fine. Let's go ahead and hit OK on that one. Let's add another one, and we'll do javax.servlet, and we want to do the servlet API -API, and 2.5 for our version. Now for this one we're going to choose a scope of provided. And provided means don't package it with my WAR file. We don't want to package these with our WAR file because they're already provided by Tomcat for us. So let's go ahead and hit OK. And then we have one more, and that's JSTL. So we'll do javax.servlet and JSTL for our artifact ID, and 1.2 for our JSTL version, and also set that to a scope of provided. We hit OK on that, and then we want to save. And you'll notice that it, for a second down there, I had already had them downloaded. It went out and downloaded all these jar files for me. Now, you may be asking yourself, hey, wait a second, we only added 3 dependencies. This is why I like to use Maven. To use Spring MVC, I also have to have the Spring context jar and the Spring AOP jar as well as Spring core. It also needs commons logging and some other jar files out there as well, the AOP Alliance and a few other things. So this gives me all the dependencies I need using Maven through what's called transitive dependencies. Like I said, don't worry yourself too much about this. If you have questions about it, you can go view the Maven course that I have on Pluralsight that'll answer most, if not all, of these questions for you.